What's up, guys? Welcome back to On the Table podcast. On the Table was inspired by conversations I've had with clients while on the table at Built Bodyworks. I mean, we've talked about life, relationships, successes, failures, social media, all the above. And I just wanted a platform to be able to share their stories with you guys. So today we got on one of my buddies, Hunter. Hunter, I don't know what's better about him, his humor or his abs. He does great with social media. And in fact, our mutual friend Brenton that first introduced me to you, I think was just showing me your videos on Instagram. And that was like, okay, now I know who Hunter is.
Yeah.
So anyways, thanks for being here today, dude.
Dude, of course.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I mean, maybe this was a couple weeks ago, but I kind of thought I was actually going to be like on a massage table and you were going to be massaging me while I gave my answers. So,
you know, that was the original idea. I mean, on the table.
yeah.
But with all the movement and everything I do, I mean, sports massage is a little bit different than regular massage. I think all the camera work, I don't know. It was just a lot to set up. So I'm like, you know what? I just want to have a conversation.
Yeah. I mean, this is a big room.
True.
We
could make it work. I forgot the table. Well, dude, so talk to me a little bit about, like, remind me, you're from California?
From
correct?
Clovis, California.
Cool.
Yeah.
What brought you to Utah?
School. Came out here. I actually still go to Utah Valley, take everything online now. I went, dude, this is fun actually. So I had a 3.8 GPA. I just got my like honor roll letter or whatever.
Okay.
And then I started my business, started social media or whatever. Last semester, got a 1.8 academic probation, just like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So kind of changed courses, or like, are you still focusing on that? Or
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like, you know, I'll get it done eventually, but not like a priority.
Well, and especially I feel like with everything that you can do online now, I don't know. I guess there's kind of a pace you can take, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I switched to like, because originally I was doing biology because I thought I wanted to be like a dentist, but switched it to like a completely online degree.
Okay.
Sounds made up. University studies.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. But I'm gonna have a college degree. So.
You're doing something, man. I love it.
That'll be cool.
I love it. Okay, jumping right into what you're doing now. I mean, first off, you do have a little bit of background in some of the video work, which I think gives some credibility to your creativity now with everything that you post. But what would you say kind of led to some of your first videos, TikTok, Instagram, about the gym, and what made it like humorous? Like, where did it start with funny videos? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, going back, I had originally, like, where I got my first following was on TikTok, right? And it was with my brother, and we were just, you know, making funny videos in our apartment or whatever.
Okay.
And so we jumped up. It was pretty quick. Like we gained like 50,000 followers in like the span of just like a couple weeks. It was, you know, TikTok's cool. It puts out your content to a lot of people.
Right.
But gym content was something that I always wanted to make. When I first started lifting, that was the big Gymshark era. So you had, you know, David Lade's transformation video, like everywhere, like people just wanting to look like him basically.
Totally.
So that was kind of like always in the back of my mind, but I didn't want to do it until I felt like I was strong. You know what I mean? Like,
you look the part.
Yeah. I didn't want to like have the account be like, you know, not be able to actually lift anything, not know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So I want to say it was like a year and a half after the entire TikTok thing happened that I actually started my Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So TikTok first.
Yeah, TikTok was first. And then, you know, and that kind of opened my eyes to like enjoying social media, right? Like you go on a live video, you make a couple $100, you're just like, you know, laughing with your friends. Like it's pretty cool. So at first, I think I might have taken it like a little too serious, right? Like I was like, hey, I felt like I was strong, like had this like physique or whatever. I was just like posting pictures, like flexing every single day. And I was like, man, this is boring. So, and at that point too, I like didn't really have any like followers, views or anything. So, you know, I started thinking back to like TikTok and I was like, dude, that was a lot more fun than this, you know? So basically with that, I started incorporating the two, and like, obviously no one knows how the algorithm works, right?
Right. Well, I feel like it's always changing too.
Yeah.
Right.
No, yeah, it's weird. But one thing that I think is consistent is that if you can post content that people will rewatch, right, has rewatch value, and that people will want to send to other people, it's probably going to do well, right?
Totally.
So I definitely like
That's
enjoy.
smart. I like that.
Yeah, I enjoy at least trying to make people laugh. So I think like making like the funny videos kind of incorporated with it, kind of started to like blow up my account. Actually, I had a screenshot pop up the other day. I had like one, you know, in your insights where it shows you how many like accounts you reached. I reached 17 million accounts in 30 days on Instagram.
Holy.
I know, pretty sweet.
When was this?
This was like middle of summer. I think, when I gained a lot of my followers.
No way.
Yeah.
From all the gym stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. You just mentioned kind of making some money too. I think it's interesting that now that's like such a possibility.
Yeah.
Was that more so through TikTok or Instagram or both?
Both.
Really?
Yeah. And I think you need to be creative with it, right? Because just like creator funds are not going to pay you that much money.
Right.
Like I was getting millions of views a month on Instagram, and I want to say like what's it called? Bonus reels.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It paid me out like $112 or something like that.
Okay. And
like,
you have to apply for the bonus reels thing, right?
So TikTok, you apply. Instagram, they invite you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
But I think all that it is like once you have like 10,000 followers, then they invite you. And
okay. I was just asking Brenton about that the other day. I was curious how that worked. Okay.
But I think right now, a lot of the money, if you don't have like like me, like I don't have a huge following. I definitely have like, consistent fans and stuff, is through content creation. Because once you understand like how to get views, that's like a skill that not a lot of people have, right? So
very true.
If you can do that for other brands, that is something that you can monetize and make money off of.
Okay. What would you say is kind of the skill set behind knowing how to brand and how to create content? Because we live in a day and an age where you can create whatever content you want, but what I guess is specific to maybe your niche? Is it or just the gym? You know what I'm saying? What advice would you give to somebody who wants to create content but keep it consistent? Maybe.
Yeah, I got you. I think it's like for me, like I found my like niche, right? Like I do well making people laugh.
Right.
But I think my advice to other people is it's gonna be trial and error, right? Like very few things in life, right, are we gonna like try our first time and just kill it.
Get it. Okay.
Right. So try different things, like see what your followers like, see what is engaging people, and then continue with that, right?
Okay.
So I still do that every week. Like I don't know if you notice this, but like once a week I'll post like a different style of video and see how it does. Because I want to like broaden, and like increase my audience.
Dude, good for you. So you have a fun time with just like kind of testing the waters on what works and where the views come in and stuff. Okay. I like it. Would you say going to the gym, going back to this a little bit, but like going to the gym kind of fueled the videos, or the other way around? Like you started creating content and you were like, wow, I really want to take this gym thing a little bit more seriously. That makes sense?
Yeah. It's just two things that I've always loved. I've always liked making videos, right?
Right.
And I've always liked going to the gym. So I think it was just bound to happen.
Okay.
I think it was
just
bound to
the
happen.
world's met.
Yeah. I like to go to the gym. I like to mess around with my friends.
Right.
Sometimes I probably do more filming video than I do actually working out. But
that's the question for you, for real. Do you ever go into the gym with an idea? Maybe that's the question. Like, where does the inspiration even come from?
Dude, it's crazy. It's like, I'll just be, okay, here's actually a thing with social media right now that's annoying, right?
Okay.
I think that there's very few people creating original content, and then there's millions of people just copying that content. Right.
Yes.
And so I've done both. Like I've created a lot of original stuff, and I've done like a lot of just like copying trends, right? And I will tell you, the original stuff is like the hit or miss stuff, right? Like a lot of my original videos are the ones with like over 10 million views. And then, but those are also the ones that, get like 2,000 views, and then I delete because I'm like, oh, that's embarrassing.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. That's wild. The whole trends thing I think is a really big thing. Any advice I've ever heard is like, it's crazy, but it's like follow the trend, follow what people are posting about. This guy over here, I feel like repeatedly benches 315 like it's nothing. What do you feel like was it just consistency? Because I remember one of the first times I lifted with you, it was like, no, we're doing bench. Like, this is happening. And I actually don't lift bench a whole ton.
Yeah.
But do you feel like it was something you had to be consistent with? And was that part of the, like, hey, if I'm going to be posting videos about lifting, I got to hit 315.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was like a revenge thing. I was that kid in high school that like you were graduating and you looked at and you're like, he looks like he's 12 years old. Okay. No, I'm dead serious. I was walking around like 145 pounds, like same height I am now, like just baby face.
Okay.
And this was like actually a weird thing in my life. So I kind of have like a little bit of like a concave chest, right?
Okay.
And my parents like never worked out at all. That's just like not necessarily disapproving of it, but they definitely, you know, they're like there's other more important things.
Yeah.
And so like growing up in like, you know, like PE class when we do weightlifting, I'd always like I could never bench like anything. I'd bench like 45 pounds and like I wouldn't be able to lift it. Okay. And my dad would be like, it's because like how your chest is formed. Like we're just not very good at benching. And I literally like, I just like use that as an excuse for years.
Oh, sad.
I know. And I was like, man, like I'm just, you know,
never gonna get there.
I got this deformed, not
right,
really,
right. No, you know, yeah. There were some thoughts to that. Though.
And so I graduated high school and I remember like, I very specifically remember this kid that I went to school with and he saw me at the gym and I mean, you know how you are as kids, right? Like I was just kind of giving him a hard time. He was giving me a hard time. And he was like, okay, you can talk when you can bench 135.
And you're like.
And I was like.
It's just got real.
I wish I could bench 135.
No, what? How old were you?
18.
Okay. 18
years old. Couldn't bench 135 pounds. No, I was 19 at that point. Because I'd gone to a semester of college and come back. So I was 19 years old, dude.
Okay, you're like, all right, this is getting real.
From there, I was just like, man, I just want to bench more than everyone. So after that, bench 5 days a week. Legs, never.
Oh, skip leg day. I love it. Usually you hear the opposite. That's awesome, though. I actually think that's a big deal. I have to share just a quick story because I feel like I can relate in the sense of, I don't know, the gym is therapy for sure, but I think that there's a piece of you that's not only trying to prove other people wrong, but like prove to yourself like I'm capable of this thing, especially if growing up your parents weren't just as supportive, you know?
Yeah.
My parents weren't super big into exercise either, but I mean, playing sports and stuff, I think I got into it. I had moved up to my dad's. This is one of my most embarrassing stories ever, by the way, and this is going on the podcast. But I had moved up to my dad's. He lives up in Layton. I went to Layton High School, and I had just started with the football team. And I had no clue what I was capable of lifting. I had been lifting. I could bench a plate, 135, right? Mm-hmm. And they were doing incline that day. And I figured I was lifting with this like really short kid. I was like, if he can do this, I can definitely do this. And if I can flat bench 135, then I can for sure incline it, right?
Yeah.
Which feels totally different.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, so I bring the bar up and I'm shaking and I'm on my way down and it just falls forward and just crashes on the safety bars. And it was my first day at the school. And the whole team's like, oh, you know, calling me names and stuff. I look over and the head coach was laughing. And I was like, no. Man, way to make an introduction to Layton High School, you know? And I think for me, that was a turning moment of like, I mean, I don't know. I can do this, you know, like I can get there. But what would you say is I guess your most favorite thing about lifting or the gym or fitness? Because for me, I just think it's the growth factor and like knowing that you can always push more and do more and be more. And I think learning all the different factors of fitness and different ways to lift, you know?
Yeah. Dude, I think for me, it's just like at this point, it's just personal improvement. Like I just want to be the best me that I can be.
100%.
And obviously, I think fitness is a big part of that.
Yep, I like that kind of the mentality behind pushing yourself. Mm-hmm. One of the bigger things I wanted to ask you, because I've always been curious about this, and I think this is a big struggle in social media today, is caring so much about what other people think. Mm-hmm. But like, how do you also deal with like some of the rude or just like mean comments from people? Like, do you just simply not care? Do you just still post? Does it ever get to you? I guess is the question.
Yeah, dude. So here's the thing, like the rude comments, I don't think they do. And it's like these people are feeling the need to like go out of their way online to try and make you feel bad, right? Like, who's that reflecting on, like me or them? You know,
truth.
This is like their problems, their insecurities that they're projecting onto you. And that's just not my problem. I don't have time to worry about that. Like,
I love that.
I'm responsible for like my happiness, and that's it,
Right.
So the comments, I honestly just, ignore them. Any press is good press, they're commenting.
I love it.
But no, dude, what is hard though, that I know with a lot of people that like create content, is watching like the views, right? Because you'll post a video, it'll get 200,000 views, and the next day you post a video and it gets like 8,000 views, and you don't want to like let that affect like your worth, right?
Yes,
like,
dude, that's
because
huge.
your views are down, it doesn't mean like your worth is down, and that's something that I'm working on. Because a lot of people who do blow up in social media, they just post and they don't care, right? They post just selfies in the locker room. They post just videos talking to the camera, like, and before they blow up, like, I'm sure a lot of those videos don't do great.
Right.
But if you just keep posting, people see who you are. That's how you gain like an authentic following, and why, why you're an influencer.
True. So at the end of the day, just post what you're going to post. Do you feel like there's a point where I feel like there's this line of like, okay, I have to be consistent and my page has to look a certain way, right? This is what I've always been told. You go to a person's page and you're like, oh, wow, there's like a pattern to how they post and it looks really good, really clean.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a point, I've always wondered this, where you're finally just like, okay, forget the pattern. I just want to post what I want to post.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a thing?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I mean, yeah. Like, even like like my niche, right? Like the comedy thing.
Yeah.
There's like points where like I go to the gym and I'm like, this is the last thing like I want to do right now is, just like come up with some obnoxious idea and film it in the middle of my workout. And that's kind of where I said like I'm venturing into like other things. Like, I don't know if you just saw, I started like a series where I'm like rating pre-workouts.
Dude,
like,
I love it.
It's completely like not based on science at all. Just like bro science, like this looks science. Dope and makes my face itch.
The energy, the tingles.
Yeah, yeah. And that actually did pretty well. So I think that's something that I'll like expand on. And then one day I feel like I don't want to make like a comedy video, then that day I can make like a pre-workout video or a gym fit video, so that's kind of where I'm headed with it.
I love that. Mm-hmm. Just different areas to kind of focus on, but still building kind of the same brand or whatever. Mm-hmm. I loved that video. We'll have to show that video. It actually totally caught me because I don't know. I must have had my volume on, but you were like, how did you start? You were like, wait, don't scroll past. And I was like, I did like okay. Well, what's he got? And then you got into it. I loved it. For those who care, what's Hunter's like typical, and maybe you don't have one, which is also kind of cool. That works. What's your typical like gym split, or do you just kind of go off of like how you're feeling? Because I know some people do that. They show up and they're like, I mean, not legs today, but anything else, That's me.
Every week I do the same thing. Monday, I hit chest. Okay. Tuesday, I hit back. Wednesday, I hit legs. Thursday, I hit arms. Okay, I guess it does kind of vary at this point. Thursday, Friday, some arms and shoulders, and then I'll hit chest a second time. And then Saturday, if I go, I'll hit legs a second time.
Okay.
Yeah, so chest, legs and chest twice a week.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Still building the chest. No wonder.
Working on the calves. It's a problem.
Dude, that's the hardest part. You want to know one of my favorite things about Arnold was in some of his first photo shoots. I didn't know this till later on, because you look at Arnold's calves and you're like, dude, how did you do that? That's unreal. Did you know, you can find these pictures, that in some of his first photo shoots, he would stand in a pond of water up to like his knees so nobody would see his calves. Are you
serious?
Dead serious.
Well, that's like, I mean, I talked about this earlier with my chest, but like any sort of like limiting belief, I think we just need to get rid of, right? Like if you say like, I just have bad insertions on my calves, I just have like a bad chest insertion, like throw it out the window, work harder.
I like that. And I think so many different people deal with that. I think that there's different genetics. I think that there's hormones. I think that, I don't know, the way you lift. What would you say is your style? Bodybuilding, powerlifting? Are you focused on strength? Are you more focused on just staying lean? Strong and lean?
Dude, I'm like not that lean, honestly. I wish I was leaner.
You are.
I kind of just focus on lifting more than whoever's next to me.
Okay, so it's all ego.
No, probably more so along the lines of like bodybuilding right now, I guess.
Okay.
I think that like my actual physique, I think that there's going to be a lot of improvement on that. Like in the next couple of years, I think That like if I look at my before picture now when I weighed 150 pounds, I think that in a couple years I'm gonna look at a picture of me now, and it'll be like that, if that makes sense. Like I'm gonna be so much bigger and like so much more developed.
Well, I think that's the funnest part. Do you ever have thoughts to compete in a bodybuilding competition, or have you thought about it?
Okay, I want to say I haven't, but recently I've had like multiple friends that have started training for shows.
Okay.
It's kind of, maybe giving me an itch.
Yep.
See, stay tuned.
There we go. We'll have you on again. I think you do get kind of a feel when you lift or work out around those people about what it's like, and you're like, oh, maybe I could kind of get into this, but gosh, there's so much to that. So much to that.
That's a good point with basically any sort of like improvement in your life, right? Fitness, any aspect of your life is obviously like the people that you're around, right? Like the power of proximity.
100%.
What is it? Like you're the sum of the five
people
closest to you.
Yep.
I think that's huge. And that's something that I've really tried to adjust in my life last year. Like surround yourself with successful people, surround yourself with people that work hard, and you'll see like crazy results.
100%. I totally agree with that. I've seen that. I think it's inevitable if you're around those people, the energy just flows with you too, That's way cool.
Can I say something serious?
Go ahead. Absolutely.
Okay, only serious thing I'm gonna say this whole time. I feel like we've talked a lot about like self-improvement and stuff.
Yeah. Only serious thing.
I don't say very many serious things. This is one of them. Dude, so like I feel like we're guaranteed like very few things in this life, right?
Okay.
But two things that we're gonna have with us no matter what is our body and our mind. Our friends, our family, the people closest to us, like unfortunately there's no guarantee that they are always gonna be there. But luckily, like you are the greatest gift that you could have been given. We're like, it's so cool that we have these bodies and minds that we can mold into whatever we want, right? Through, in like what we're talking about right now, through exercise, through reading, through meditation, through your spirituality, through any sort of self-improvement.
Yep.
You can truly become whatever you want. And I don't care who you are. I believe that every single person has the talents and the ability to overcome any obstacle in this life.
Greatest thing I've heard today all week. I love that. Oh my gosh, I've been trying to talk to people about that because I feel like we are our own limitations. Like, I don't know, example again, I grew up with a single mom and 5 kids. I wouldn't say that we were poor, but maybe on the outside looking in, we were. And I just feel like you had different limitations, but once you get outside of that and you see what's actually possible by putting yourself around the right people, working on your own mental and spiritual health, you are capable of anything that you want to do. So I appreciate you for sharing that because there's so much doubt and fear around chasing and then the whole comparison thing, Oh
yeah, that's bad.
Yep.
I think that this year, the world's getting a lot more positive. I think this is going to be like a good year for positivity. I know that's kind of what I'm trying to spread. And I think that's going to be, we've seen a lot of negativity in the world, I feel like the last few years. And I think it's shifting.
How do you feel like COVID really like affected people's mental health?
I think
gyms shut down, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was tough. Cause I mean, for me, like the first time I started working out was so I went on a church mission to South America, right?
Okay.
And so I worked out for like a couple months before that, and I like really fell in love with it, right? I went from like wanting to work out because I wanted to go on dates with hot girls to like, oh, like I want this for me,
Right.
And so then I was in South America for a year and a half, and I was just itching to work out. Got back with COVID, just couldn't work out.
Oh,
terrible,
no way.
Terrible.
Okay.
But I think that COVID, I think that whole thing just brought out so much negativity. Like there was just like, just all over the internet, right? Like everything was just bad. And I think like it was almost good how bad it got because I think a lot of people started to realize like, is this the world we want to live
in? The contrast. You get the contrast. You get what you don't want to see what you do want, I love that. I think, I don't know, the bigger thing with all of that too, when there is positivity and you're looking for it, I just feel like that comes anyway. So you're right. I do feel like I'm seeing a lot more of it, and we're seeing a lot more people that want better and want to do better and be better. I think one of my last questions for you with like bodybuilding or lifting that we're kind of already talking about is, I think a lot of it does look very egotistical from the outside looking in, and there are pieces of it for sure. And the pride of wanting to lift more than the guy next to you, 100%. But what do you think? I mean, do you feel like it's actually been something that's life-changing for you and something that you are going to continue carrying forward?
100%. And I feel like my persona online is definitely kind of more of like, you know, like the ego lifting, like we're doing this, you know, for like the boys or whatever. But like, really, it's like, I mean, it's therapy, right? And for me, it's the gym, right? And for you, it might be running, it might be swimming, it might be, you know, whatever it is for you. Like, I think that there is like a piece that you can find in like, you know, just exercising your body.
Yep. I love it. Okay, final question for you.
All right.
Any advice you have on anybody either just getting into lifting or even the video work, content creation, social media marketing, any of those areas or all of them?
My advice is post, right? People do this thing where they're like, oh, I want to do this, like, and they like are planning and they're planning and they're planning and they never do it.
Never do it.
Just post. Your first video, like, it's not gonna get views anyways. Like that sucks, but like you just gotta start posting. And you know, post, be original, be authentic, be yourself. Dude, the top DMs I get. Okay. I'll be honest here.
Okay.
I like your hair. I hate your hair. I like that you're authentic, and send me feet pics.
Wow.
That's all of them. Yeah. But the authentic one, I really do get that a lot.
Okay.
If you are yourself, people are going to like that.
I agree. I think at the end of the day that we're going to continue to learn, especially when it comes to putting yourself out there in any way, shape, or form, is that you're going to be judged either way.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, be judged by people who love you and who actually know you versus those who are just seeing you online and have no clue, you know? So
definitely.
Love it. Well, dude, thanks for being here today.
Dude, that was
appreciate
fun.
I know.
That was
We'll do it
time.
again. We'll do it again.
Guys, and everyone, what camera I look at? Listen to Brant's. He's one of the most successful people I know. He wants to do something and he does it. I don't know if I'm allowed to say all the things that he does, but he does all of them.
Dude, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thank you.